Yes and no. I think it's important to remember the vast majority of primary sanctions that are imposed on Iran by the United States are done so through executive orders, which means that the president can actually lift them with a stroke of the pen. He does not need to go through Congress.
Right.
A very large set of secondary sanctions are passed by Congress. Those he can only waive, or he would have to ask them to lift them. And that's going to be a Herculean task. But you should also remember he did manage to lift the Caesar Act, the sanctions on Syria, through Congress. And it was actually quite an achievement, I have to say, because Congress usually never lifts sanctions. Obama didn't even try to lift the embargo on Cuba. He just lifted some of the executive orders. The embargo was untouched because he didn't even want to take the fight in Congress on that issue. So I think there's a significant distance the president can go without involving Congress. Moreover, a lot of these secondary sanctions are going to become hollow without the foundation of primary sanctions underneath them. So many of them may actually become meaningless, even if they're on the books. Then there is the question of INARA, which is an act that requires that any nuclear deal needs to go through Congress for approval as well. Now, the question is, if you notice, the president and no one on his team has talked about this as a nuclear deal. It seems like they're going to be talking about this as a US-Iran deal that goes far beyond the nuclear deal. And that may be because they're looking at circumventing Congress on that issue as well and never having to take the fight to Congress and INARA because it's not a nuclear arrangement or agreement that is being passed here. I think ultimately Congress is going to have some say in all of this, but it's not necessarily as straightforward as people have thought.